Creating a table of contents for your romance book. Does a romance book need a table of contents? When we think about Amazon Kindle books, typically nonfiction books require a table of contents. However, when you're writing a romance book, an extra oomph so that your readers will want to buy your book is in a table of contents. Keep in mind that every time a reader goes to see a potential book, they look inside. On the left-hand corner of every introduction to the book, Amazon allows the reader to click and check out a few paragraphs about the book and get a little bit more of a feel on whether or not the book is something the reader would like to buy. Hence, when you put together a table of contents, you can actually give the reader more information and another reason to buy your book. So what belongs in a table of contents? Most importantly, you need to identify emotions of your characters. The table of contents gives a realm of where your characters are going and what they are doing. So your table of contents could simply be one chapter called The Passionate Ways, or Getting Life Back, or any number of things that identify what your character might be doing and why your reader should definitely buy your book. Another topic that you could use that would help sell your book and be part of the table of contents would be identifying locations of the plot. Now, if you're setting your genre romance in a particular area and it's somewhere where your character will be, it could be a small place, it could be a famous castle. These are ideas that you can push towards your reader, and they might take time to actually check this out and then, of course, buy your book. A great sales tool. Another really important part of the table of contents is highlighting the climax in the book. Now, it doesn't have to be an obvious highlight, but letting people know that your character is getting to where it needs to go really does want the reader to buy the book. This is an opportunity for them to see how your character got there. Again, this doesn't have to be a long chapter title. It just has to show some passion, some emotion, and entice the reader to buy. The enticing table of contents should read something of a cliff note about your book, giving a little bit of information, but a lot of suggestion, leaving the reader wanting more, desiring to read your book because the table of contents looks extraordinarily enticing. It gives clues about the storyline, and it draws the reader in. On average, a romance book, whatever the genre, could be Christian, could be mainstream, could be fiction, needs to have 7 to 12 main chapters. This gives a little preamble of what your character will be doing, where they might be going, and how the book might be coming along. It gives the reader a tiny glimpse. And then, if you want to elaborate further, you could have 3 to 4 subtopics for each chapter. Now, this is optional, and it might clutter your book too much, especially if your story goes strong. So the suggestion is, if you have the topics, it seems to come together, you don't need subtopics. However, it's a possible thing to fit them in there just in case you want to offer more information to a reader who's thinking about buying your book and they're looking at the table of contents. It's very important that your table of contents reveals what the readers should know about each chapter. It doesn't have to be long-winded. It just has to give a bit of a grasp of what is going on and how it might help them to decide whether or not to buy the book.